Hey everyone, David MacDonald here, owner and founder of Vitality Fitness Calgary. Today we're going to answer a very common question that we get and a lot of other trainers get as well. And that question is, how can I do a full body pull-up? Now, it's a very loaded question. There's many layers to this question and there's actually many answers to this. The biggest thing we got to look at is what your starting point is. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to assume that you're a sedentary adult, you're quite inactive, you don't have a lot of knowledge around nutrition, exercise, things like that. And the reason we're making that assumption is because that's generally the kind of clientele we're going to work with. Most of our clientele have little to no experience with working out, training, nutrition, fitness, things like that. That's not to say that some of our clients do have it or don't have experience, because we do have a percentage of our clients that do have years of experience with training and nutrition, but if we were to look at the majority of our clients, most of them fall into that first category I talked about. So we're going to assume that you're in sedentary, inactive male or female, and you're making it your mission to be able to do a full body pull-up. So we're going to give you guys 3 tips on how to effectively make progress to reach that goal down the road. Now, we're not saying that these 3 tips are going to be the be-all and end-all, and as soon as you do these 3 tips and you start implementing them, you're going to be able to do full body pull-ups. Pull-ups are a very challenging exercise. They take a lot of time, they take a lot of practice, they take a lot of patience. Okay, these 3 steps will help you make a lot of progress in reaching that goal down the road. So first thing we're going to recommend, this is going to be tip 1 or step 1. It's going to sound a little bit counterintuitive to some of you. It's maybe going to sound like, not very good advice, but it's actually very good advice once we expand on it and once we explain why we're recommending this. So the first thing is we've got to focus on improving our nutrition. And the reason why improving your nutrition will actually help you do more pull-ups is because improving your nutrition is going to help you with losing extra weight, shedding the extra body fat, dropping those extra pounds that you have. So with pull-ups are very much a strength to weight ratio game. Okay, what we want to do when we're doing pull-ups is we want to be able to maximize our strength in relation to what our weight is, the amount of weight that we're carrying. So one of the biggest things you'll see with a lot of people who are very good at pull-ups, who have the strength to be able to do a pull-up, is they have a lot of muscular strength, okay, but they have that in relation to a low level of body fat and a low weight. Okay, so the big thing we got to focus on with our nutrition is improving it for the purposes of losing body fat. Okay, I don't recommend just general weight loss, because general weight loss might mean that you're going to lose muscle in the process, and that's not what we want. We want to maintain muscle and even gain muscle to maximize our strength. What we want to focus on is losing body fat, and the quickest and best way to start losing body fat in conjunction with exercise is to make changes to your diet and to make changes to your nutrition. So that's going to be step 1. Okay? Step number 2 is actually doing exercises that are either going to be an imitation of the pull-up or that are going to progress you to being able to do a pull-up down the road. So that could mean assisted pull-ups with bands. That could mean assisted pull-ups with those assisted pull-up machines you see at the gym. Okay? Either way, what we want to do is we want to make sure we're doing things that are mimicking that pull-up movement. Okay? So for example, we're going to show you guys one today. What you can do to mimic and imitate that pull-up motion is to do an assisted pull-up with bands. Now, there are positives about this exercise and there are also some downsides about the exercise as well. Okay? And we're going to actually cover how you can work around some of those downsides with tip number 3. Okay? Anytime you're doing any kind of assisted pull-up, you need to have a band or you need to have a counterweight that's assisting you. So those machines that you see at the gym, those assisted pull-up machines, that's what I'm talking about when I refer to that counterweight, okay, to boost you when you're doing that pull-up. If you don't have that, you can use a band. We don't have those machines at our gym, which is why we're going to show you the band variation. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up a band around a pull-up stand. Now, you have a couple options. You can use a lighter tension band, you can use a heavier tension band, you can use a medium tension band. What you want to look for is you want to look for a band that allows you to do about 8 to 10 reps with really good form. So for some of you, that's going to be a heavy band. For others, it might be a lighter band. You got to make that distinction on your own. Okay, that might come with some trial and error. Now, when we're doing the assisted pull-up, what we're going to do is we're going to put one knee inside the band. You can go with both knees if you'd like, but that's only applicable, in my opinion, if you're working with someone else. So if you have a training partner, you're working with a personal trainer, someone can help you in and out of the band. But if you're on your own, I would recommend one knee in the band and one leg out, so you actually have a way of getting out of the band. You're not stuck there. So we're going to show this with one knee in the band, just for the purpose of this video. One leg out. Okay, when we're at the bottom of the pull-up, we want to keep those shoulders down and back. Okay, we're getting that chest up slightly, keeping those abs tight. If you want to cross, you can cross. If you want to uncross, you can uncross. Pulling all the way up, coming all the way back down nice and slow. Okay, pulling all the way up, coming all the way back down, nice and slow. So that's the assisted pull-up. Now, the only thing I don't like about the assisted pull-up is when you're lowering, okay, you have assistance on the lowering phase as well, okay? You're gonna have assistance on the lifting phase, which is fine. Okay, that's what's gonna help us increase the strength of that concentric attraction. But when we're lowering, we also have a lot of assistance as well. The reason I don't like that is because when we're lowering, okay, that's called the negative phase of the lift. We are getting a lot of assistance from the band. And it's actually in the lowering phase of the rep where you actually gain more strength. Okay, so if we're getting a lot of assistance from the bands on the lowering phase, then it's really mitigating the strength gains we could be making. So that's not to say this version or this exercise is useless. There's value in it, okay, but it depends on how you're applying it. So if you're only doing band assisted pull-ups, okay, you will make progress, but you're not going to make as much progress than if you're adding in another exercise that can help with maximizing that lowering strength gaining phase of the rep, also known as the negative. Okay, so that's where the next exercise comes in, and those are what are referred to as negatives. So negatives are a great way to increase your strength on the pull-up, and all a negative is you're completing the lowering phase of the repetition, okay, without the lifting phase. So you're maximizing that strength gain. So what a negative would look like, this is a little short for me, but I'm going to show you anyways, is you would get to the top of the pull-up position, you're going to hold, and then you're going to slowly lower down, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to jump up, you're going to hold, and then we're going to slowly lower down. Okay, we come back to the step, and then we do the same thing. Okay, now, for some of you, negatives might be a little bit a challenge. Okay, they might be a little bit difficult. You might not be able to do negatives. You might not have that strength and control, okay, over your body. Now, if that's the case, we got two other options for you. You can do what are called holds, okay? Holds are a great way to build strength on a pull-up. And all a hold is that you're jumping up to the top of the movement and you're holding. So I'll show it on this one here. Just let enough room to jump up. So all a hold would be is you would jump up and you're holding. Okay? The benefit of that is you can actually add some bands in as well, okay, to take away some of that body weight that you're holding, and it's going to assist you with that. So you're holding, but then you have the band on your knees or on your knee, just providing some assistance at the bottom of the movement, so you're not holding as much body weight. Okay, so that is another variation that you can add in to help with increasing and making progress with your pull-ups. Okay, what I would recommend starting with, just to recap, working on your nutrition, making improvements with nutrition, losing that extra body weight, that extra body fat, whether that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. Okay, the next step is incorporating assisted pull-ups with bands, choosing the band that works best for you. Okay, step 3 is adding in negatives as well. Okay, adding in the lowering phase of the pull-up. And the lowering phase has to be slow and controlled. Okay, if the negatives are too much for you, okay, what you can also do is you can grab a band, okay, and you can do pull-up holds, or you can do pull-up holds without the band. Okay, so those are some great steps, those are some great tips that you can start incorporating to improve your pull-ups. Now, in terms of how frequent and how often you should be doing this, I would start out with doing 1 time a week of assisted pull-ups, 3 sets to about 8 to 10 reps a set, and then 1 to 2 times a week adding in the negatives or the holds, whichever one you're going to choose. So those are 3 steps that you can start adding in today to improving your pull-ups and progressing to being able to do a full body pull-up down the road. I'm David MacDonald from Vitality Fitness Calgary. Thanks so much for watching.